How do you make money from a blog? How do you make money blogging? Hi, this is Tom from WageFreedom.com, coming to you today from Bali, Indonesia. I'm in the 66 area of Seminyak, Legian. For years now, I've had questions every week from Wage Freedom readers about how to get started making money blogging. Whether you want to, quit a job that you hate or just make a little extra money, blogging can be a very good way to get started on making an extra income. The funny thing is, you think with a million tutorials out there on YouTube on everything under the sun, especially making money online and blogging, you'd think that there'd be enough information out there for people, but the fact that I get this question so often makes me think that another tutorial probably isn't the answer. Now some people do get started, and they install WordPress and they do what they think bloggers are supposed to do, which is create content and start writing. A few articles a week, maybe an article every day, maybe a few articles a day. Take massive action, and there's nothing wrong with taking massive action. But a lot of times, without a plan, it's a good way to basically get burned out. So with this video, my hope is to encourage you to get started blogging by thinking about it in a way that might be a little differently than you have before, okay? And if you are about to get started, to inform the path forward for you, okay? You need a little something extra. You need more than that tutorial, in my opinion. I started out just sort of flailing with blogging, and it took me a long time to make progress, both in terms of traffic, visitors, getting visitors to my blog, but then also actually making money from it, okay? A blog is not a business, okay? So in a way, the question isn't, just how to get started making money from your blog. The real question is, what place does a blog have in a viable online business, okay? Because a business is actually what you're going to be creating if you want to make money online, okay? Let's talk about an online business. I'm going to use this very simple metaphor, okay? The metaphor is a funnel, F-U-N-N-E-L. Now, business funnels or sales funnels obviously have existed forever, but let's walk through it in case it's not entirely intuitive. Let's walk through what it means in a physical brick and mortar business. Okay, if you've got a store, number one goal is to get people into the door, get them off the street and into your place of business. Once they're there, they're browsing around. Maybe you meet them. A salesperson meets them, gently asks if they'd like some help, or if they can answer any questions. The goal would be to encourage them to browse for as long as they'd like. Look around, see what you've got on offer, check prices, and get, when they get a little closer maybe to purchasing, start asking questions of your salespeople or you. And then ultimately, obviously, to hopefully make a sale. Now, not necessarily that day, but the whole point of business is to get that conversion. But you understand that it's not going to happen within 2 minutes of them walking in the front door. But if you've got a viable business, your physical sales funnel, both top, mid, and bottom of the funnel is covered, and you have figured out a way to ultimately get that conversion by doing the other two steps, the upper and middle funnel steps, correctly. Okay. So how does this relate to a blog? How does a blog relate to this idea of a sales funnel or a business funnel? Okay, the top of the funnel is about essentially connecting with potential customers, right? The middle of the funnel is like continuing the conversation. It's about having discovered you to get them comfortable with being in your physical store or being on your website, maybe reading your blog, reading pages that you have on the website. the middle of the funnel is not necessarily about selling them today or right now. It's more about providing information and getting them comfortable with you. The more time, obviously, people spend on your site, the more the function of your site or your blog specifically will move from a top of funnel discovery or initial connection function to more like a mid-funnel function. You're going to add content to your blog, which is going to keep people on the site. Now, also on your blog, you will have bottom of the funnel functionality as well. That means there will be buy it now buttons for something. There will be an offer or multiple offers of some kind. It could be physical products. It could be a service that you offer. It could be a product that you make that you sell yourself. Okay, anything under the sun. I'd like to spend just a little bit of time on the blog as a discovery mechanism. Okay, when we are making a blog, we are adding content to our website in a blog format. Okay, and how does that? What's the function of doing that? Why do you even do that? You put it out and people will magically appear on your site. Well, let's look a little closer. Okay. The idea historically, traditionally, is with a blog, what happens is you pick a niche, you pick something you're interested in, something you're good at, something you can speak or write authoritatively about in detail, okay? And if you can produce content educating people on it, a little bit of entertainment, educating people in an engaging way. Maybe you don't have to be a comedian, but in a way that essentially keeps them on your site. Okay, if you will make good quality content like this on any topic at all, let's say you know a lot about yoga or you know a lot about fixing motorcycles. Okay, if you could write a couple of dozen articles or more on those topics. Okay. Not just about products that would be used related to those topics, but also just anything. Good yoga schools. The 10 best places to do a yoga retreat in the whole world, or 10 things to watch out for when you're choosing a motorcycle to refurbish. Topics like that. If you can write extensively about those topics, and also, by the way, let me just cut away. Blogging nowadays is not just about writing. Okay, if you're more comfortable speaking, then by all means start your YouTube channel and start talking about the subject that you have some interest and knowledge on. Okay, because you can make these videos. They also fulfill this discovery top of funnel function, and then you can obviously embed the videos on your blog. Okay, so as you create content, video, but especially let's focus on writing now, because there's a specific reason why you need to do that on your blog. What'll happen is your website, your blog will get indexed by Google, by search engines, okay? And what happens is, if you've got good quality content, I won't go through the ins and outs of how Google works in this video, but it will get discovered, and if all else being equal, if you do it right, if you give quality, deliver valuable content, and if you know a little bit about search engine optimization, which is don't SEO, don't be afraid. It's not brain surgery, and you should know a little bit about it as a blogger. I'll cover it in a later video. Good quality content plus a little bit of search engine optimization knowledge will help Google to discover and feature your content and put it in front of people who are searching for whatever it is you are writing about, okay? This is how blogging works, and why the people who will tend to come to your blog, to your website, are going to be interested in what it is you are producing content about. Does that make sense? So if you do it right and just focus on creating quality, okay, you will be getting traffic. Now, it could take a little while, okay? But it will come. And what you will have accomplished is that top of funnel function for your blog, okay, for your website, which is critical. You've got nothing if you don't have people, arriving at your website, walking in the front door of your online presence, basically, right? Now, the more content you have and on your blog, the longer people tend to stay. And I'm not just talking about the very first visit. If they're interested in yoga or fixing up old motorcycles, and they see that you've got good quality content, chances are that they will bookmark you. They will come back to you again, okay? In this way, it's similar to walking around your store for a while, right? Becoming, seeing the full range, let's say, of your offerings. Now, your offerings at this stage, I'm just talking about information, good quality information. They're learning, they're following their own interests, and you're authoritative enough to be educating them on something, or entertaining, or both, right? Now, it's important to realize, really critical, you don't have to be a world-renowned expert on the topic that you're talking about, your niche, okay? You just have to be knowledgeable enough to help the person that is reading your articles, okay? And if you have some knowledge, and if you've been for years or maybe many years interested in a given topic, trust me, you have more valuable knowledge to give than you think, okay? Because folks coming who need to get basic education about it, you're going to look like somebody who knows a heck of a lot. And in reality, for a lot of things, most people have a few things that they have been interested in for maybe their whole life. So you've got a lot of generally, I tell people they've got a lot more knowledge and a lot more possibilities when it comes to choosing a niche, a topic to blog about, to make a website about, to make an online business about. They've got a lot more choices than they may realize, okay? Now, some of you watching this are going to already know what your topic is, what your thing is, okay? And chances are you might not want to second guess that. If it's real clear what you're the best at, even if it's a relatively narrow topic, a narrow niche, that's okay, trust me. You can make a viable living from a very small audience of people if they're really engaged, and if you really do give good quality value and content on your blog, on your website, okay? So we've talked about the blog a little bit specifics in terms of upper and mid funnel. They're found with the help of search engines. They arrive at your site, they walk in the front door, they come, they spend some time, maybe over a period of days or even weeks now on your site. They get to know the blog, but you personally, normally for a small business website that has a blog, I recommend putting yourself out there. Be authentic. You don't have to tell them your home address, but tell them a little bit about yourself. How you became, what was your journey to discovering that yoga was a thing that could change your life? What are a couple reasons why you think you've been interested in motorcycles your whole life? Maybe you worked on them with your dad or something. Go ahead and tell your story about how you yourself how you become interested in these topics, because they're going to mirror your audience's journey as well. Maybe they're just getting into the topic, okay? At any rate, it creates a connection with your audience, and it does it with integrity. It's not you hammering them with advertising or something. It's just you telling about your natural, organic enthusiasm, whether it's anything, from yoga to refurbing motorcycles to anything under the sun, okay? Don't be afraid to share some of your enthusiasm, okay? Because in doing this, what's going to happen naturally, organically, and not in a pushy way at all, the more time, the better they get to know you and your site. You'll be rather likable to them, I hope, if you do it right. You're going to be establishing some authority in the field. Again, you don't have to be the world's expert on yoga, okay? But you realize you've helped them, and so you're in their world, you are something of an authority, okay? And then there'll also be this thing, you're giving value to them. Maybe many articles, maybe hours of video you've produced. So you've been generous, and that creates, in sales, it's known as reciprocity. Okay, it's a natural human response to giving. If you give, the natural response is that folks will be like, maybe if I'm going to buy a yoga mat or some yoga gear, and I see it for sale on this website, they've given me a lot of good info, I'll go ahead and patronize them, right? Or I've learned a lot from this person, and this person is making a course on yoga, or maybe, fixing up an old Harley or something. So this is the story of how we move from top to mid to all the way to the bottom of a sales funnel with our blog. Okay, you've done right. You've naturally moved them from discovering you via Google probably to eventually buying something from you. The way that it's done, by the way, with physical products, normally, you're probably not going to make your own yoga mats. I don't know, maybe you will, but it's affiliate marketing is a legit way of making money online, where basically people buy through your affiliate link. If you do a review of yoga mats or yoga gear or whatever, and you give your honest opinion and give them a chance to purchase through your site. Give them a buy it now button that'll take them to Amazon or REI. Most big companies nowadays have affiliate arrangements that you can become part of if you have a functioning website. It's a legit way to make money. A lot of people make a lot of money with affiliate marketing. And so that's another way outside of making maybe your own course on something. So many ways to monetize. It's specific also to a degree on what it is exactly your niche is, what your topic is, what you're talking about, okay? But I always say, if you've got people they've come through the middle of your funnel, there's always a way you can monetize attention broadly, okay? I do coaching. I've yet to run across some, if you can get, even dozens of people a day to your site, to say nothing of hundreds or even thousands or more, there's always a way to monetize visitors, okay? So I just wanted, though, for the purpose of this video, outline the three major stages of the role that a blog plays in an online business. So it should be clear by now that where we started asking how to make money from a blog, what we're really talking about is, again, how to make money online and how to use that blog. A blog in 2018 is still a very legitimate way to handle all three portions of an online sales funnel, okay? I'm going to wrap this up, but it brings me to the final point I want to make here. If I'm telling you that a blog is only part of an online business, that implies that there are other important parts to an online business. Now, of course that's true, right? But I'm not talking about just making a website that looks real nice. What I'm talking about is how to make your website into a conversion machine, because that's, if you have an online business, that's actually what you want it to be. Not just the blog, but the entire website is also about is really about making money. A blog being just part of that effort, I'm just going to cover real quickly a couple of other parts of the overall effort that a blog feeds into, okay? And one of them is email marketing, okay? Nowadays, we all get, we come to a website, we see a little email collector, you're given an offer to, maybe they're going to give you something free in exchange for your email address. Now, if you're interested in the topic, maybe you do sign up, and that's a completely legitimate way of building an email list. You make a 10-page PDF on like some of the best, I don't know, on yoga positions or yoga schools in exotic locales, or the best camping locations in the whole world, or in the United States or Australia, right? You get the picture. Use email for basically once they've come to your site, email is another thing that can help to continue that conversation in the middle. Because now what happens is you have, hopefully they do come back to your website, they learn some more, they engage with your site, and by extension you. But if you have their email, you can also have a parallel thing going on where you have pre-written email sequences set up that are automated to be sent out, not spam, but, 1 or 2 a week or something, giving more value, than you're giving just on your website, on your blog. Giving value, in these email sequences, extremely effective way of continuing that conversation. And the reason why I'm including it here in this video on how to make money blogging is because, again, the blog was instrumental in getting them into the top of the funnel. The question is, now that they're there, well, how do we continue to engage them in a way that, with integrity, by continuing to give value? So you hope that they come back to your site, but you also can ensure that you continue the conversation by creating these pre-written email sequences. That's another video, not going to go into any more detail now. There are ways to do this wrong that makes people mad. That's not the way that I suggest. With Wage Freedom, I gave a couple chapters of my book, and I try to give real value in exchange for people's emails, so that in the email sequence I can get off on the right foot with them. Does that make sense? Emails, just very important. I'll do more on that in the future. Now, another part of our overall online business that needs a blog to get started, okay, that's super, super effective, that's also all about the mid-funnel, continuing the conversation, is called retargeting or remarketing, okay? You probably noticed, and I apologize the banging over there at the swimming pool, but that's what happens at swimming pools sometimes. You've noticed when you look at a website sometimes, even a particular web page, if you're looking at a product, sometimes you start to see display advertising as you go away and you surf the web, or it happens on Facebook as well. You've been cookied, or there's a Facebook pixel that you triggered, and that the owner of the website is able to just gently, you really don't want to do this in a way that alienates people, that it makes them upset, but there are ways to do it to very gently remind them, hey, if you were interested in this camping gear or this yoga gear, I'll give you a 10% discount if you were to come back and purchase from me, okay? Essentially through the display advertising. Remarketing or retargeting. It's not going to happen unless they come to your site originally. Again, the blog is helping to accomplish that, but it's another way it's very inexpensive with a really high return on your investment. Okay, in terms of both time and money. Again, that's a topic for another video, but I just want to fill this out because I wanted to emphasize in this video here that we're talking about an online business, and a blog is just a part of it. Okay, it's a critical part of most online businesses, but I want to relate it to other ways of making money that are very, very effective, that you can do with integrity, that don't upset people, that make your whole online business sort of, it fills it out and makes it all more effective. I'd like to close this down by giving you two examples of people who do what I've been talking about today really, really well. They both taught me plenty, especially Pat Flynn from Smart Passive Income. Maybe you've heard of him. Go check it out. His niche is making money online, okay? He's been doing it for almost 10 years now. You'll go there and you'll find a ton of free, quality, up-to-date value delivered by a guy who's got a real great delivery and just a likable guy. It's painless education, Smart Passive Income with Pat Flynn. Go check it out. And Pat happens to be making just a lot of money nowadays with his blog, but to me, it's his execution and the fact that he's able to do this, with integrity, in my opinion, and I think most other bloggers would agree with me, who know of Pat. So just a really good example of how to make, as you look at his site, think about, the 3 steps of his sales funnel and how he executes very, very well and illustrates all 3 of them. Another site and another person is Michele Schroeder-Gardner from Making Sense with Sense. Making Sense with Sense, and this is also a Make Money Online blog. She does it in a way that is not pushy, very good information. She's also done very well financially for herself. Go take a look there. You'll see, I wanted to give you two good examples, because if you go to both the sites, you'll see parallels, what they're doing, ways that they're doing it, similarities in their approaches. But always keep their sales funnel in mind. To get specific, they both made courses and for the bottom of the funnel, and they also have made a lot of money and still do off affiliate links. Okay, I'd suggest you go to both those sites and take a look at it in the context of what I've talked about here today. And today the sun's going down here in Bali. So this has turned into a half an hour, and if you stay to the end, I really appreciate your time. I know I didn't think it's going to be this long. I wanted to hit every point. Got my little piece of paper. I think I did the best I could. Just to recap, so a blog is not a business. You've got to, it's only a part of your overall sales funnel, your online sales funnel. And if you keep in mind 3 major functions that your blog should have on your website, and that your larger website should have in your online business, you're going to be way ahead as you find that tutorial that's going to help you actually install WordPress and get going blogging. I'm hoping now you have more of a plan than you did before. Okay, I will link to my tutorial on starting a WordPress blog. It's a little bit long, but I covered every single mouse click that you'll need to get started with Bluehost. So I'd like to thank you again for watching to the end. If you've gotten any value out of this video, I'd very much appreciate a like. And what I'd really love is to continue the conversation with you. And I can do that on YouTube if you would subscribe to my channel. I've got a ton of videos that I've made on being an expat in Bali, living in Bali. But I am now moving into answering the question that I get more than anything, which is, how can I support myself in Bali? My answer to that for most people is use the internet to make money. In my opinion, in 2018, it's the best way to make yourself the $1,000 a month or so that you'd need to live in Bali. Yeah, you can do it on less, but it's in my opinion doable for almost everyone. You can make that $1,000 a month that you need to live in Bali, Thailand, or even just quitting your job. I mean, the name of the site is Wage Freedom. I was in a cubicle for years and years, and I got tired of it. And for me, entrepreneurship via the internet was the way out. So if you'd like more information on how I did it and specifics on tactics that I have used successfully, I've been doing this for almost 10 years. Sign up for subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell next to it, because that'll ensure you that YouTube will tell you every time I release a new video. So give us a like, please subscribe. Thank you very much.